Thank you. I'm going to be doing my speech about music. February 20th, 1999. I was almost 25 months old. I was exceptional for a 2-year-old in the 90s. Lacking the technology that we possess at our fingertips here in 2015, nowadays back then I found spending my time learning how to swim before I was 2 years old. I knew my numbers between my letters, or I knew my numbers and my letters, I knew the difference between them. Also, I knew the difference between a square and a rectangle, and I could spot it within a split second. Most importantly, I loved to sing. Singing was something that made me happy. Singing was something that I did all the time. Singing was something that, it was just in my being. It was something that came natural, and it was something that came out, and I didn't understand it fully. And it took me many, many, many years to find that out. I remember Friday nights, or Friday afternoons, my brother and sister would come home after school. This was the fall before I started school myself, so I was around 4 or 5 years old. I remember them coming home with a group of friends and getting ready for the high school football game that night. I would be in the kitchen with my mother, and we were cooking spaghetti. That was usually the meal they would like for my mom to cook for them before the game. I was the one who always wanted to be hands-on helping out, so I remember having my little kid radio playing some show kid tunes, and I would sing along to them while I was twisting off this red sauce jar, is what I called it. And my mother turned to me and said, "You've got something special." Well, at the time, I didn't know what she was talking about, and if you knew me, you would understand that I thought she was talking about my twisting jar skill, but in fact, she was talking about the fact that I have a good voice. And I, at that age, thought everyone could sing. I just thought some were shy and some were more vocal about it. Well, it turns out that she meant my voice was very special, like it connected with somebody's being, it connected with somebody's emotion. Well, it was unintentional, of course. I didn't understand that I had that much of an impact on people. I didn't understand that I could change people's moods. I could make them feel a certain way, and I could hurt them with my words. Words are very powerful, and I didn't understand this. It took many, 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 many years for me to figure out how truly exceptional this talent or gift or whatever you call it is. And it took me to growing up to find out that I've wasted so many years of my life to figure it out. So I would like you to know a little about music, or singing. Singing is to make musical sounds with a voice, especially with a set tune. It's words with a set tune. Words. Singing, all it is words. Just a creative way of getting them across, of getting your point across. For example, if I'm talking to somebody, I could say something like I'm talking to you right now, but singing can impact or influence the emotions. Have you ever found that when you're working out and you have a song playing, you tend to get more into it? You tend to feel motivated and feel like you can make it through it. But when you're working out without music, you tend to focus on how hard you're working and how you don't know if you'll be able to make it through, and you give up on yourself and you don't know what you're going to do, and you want to quit working out altogether. But when you have a nice beat on, you usually use the beats to connect with how many reps you're doing. It really helps you finish out. Also, along with that, heartbeat. Did you know that your heartbeat connects really well with the music? It mimics the beats. A lot of people can't be around music, especially heavy music, say high school pep rallies or concerts, because their heart mimics it, and it ends up becoming a potential threat to a heart attack. Did you know that the types of music you listen to affect the way you see the world? Now, I'm one who I've always known this, but I didn't realize that was a fact. I thought I was crazy. But music does affect the way you see the world. If you're listening to something that's depressing and dark, you tend to see all the negative things in life. Likewise, if you're listening to something that's positive and happy and makes you get on your feet and dance, you tend to notice all the positive things of life. Also, did you know that your favorite song is typically your favorite song because it's something that connects to a past memory, something that was really huge. It had a huge impact in your life, say divorce or childbirth or a breakup, anything like that. It can really connect with that. I can remember the first song that I had my first kiss with, and I remember that because we were at a dance and it was I remember the song blaring out. I don't want to name the song, but I don't know. It's funny how music can work in these kind of ways. Also, did you know that a fun thing I learned through doing this research was that an earworm is something that is a song that is stuck in your head for hours upon hours a day. I didn't realize this, but at the time, it's a common thing that happens. I thought I was crazy, but it can happen from you thinking about past memories that can strike a song up, and it could stay in your head forever and ever, or hearing a song for the first time and you repeat the lyrics in your head, you can't get them out, and you just want to go crazy because you can't get it out. Another thing I found out was I always thought music was a talent, singing was a talent, but it turns out that less than 2% of the population is tone deaf. The actual fact about it all is that when you're an infant, you sometimes have high fevers, and that can ruin your vocal cords for the impact of you being able to sing. I didn't know this at the time, but it turns out that everyone can sing. It's just a matter of practice or natural ability. So, what is music? Many people think music is something that is a form of entertainment. It is something that is used to get fame and fortune, but it turns out that music really isn't that. Music is actually something that speaks to people, different races, diversity, ethnicity, walks of life, nature, animals, plants, like everything. Music has been around forever, and it won't go away until the last breath of man. It's something that's used for so many more things than just entertainment and money. It's something that has to do great with our life. So thank you for listening, and that was music. You can hit the button.
Which one?
The red button.